Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoటి Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Medeva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्कपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसां पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. Namaste once again, everyone. So we are seeing the third chapter, and what is the sloka? I think 8th sloka, 9th sloka. Ninth
sloka.
Yajñartat karmanhonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadattam karma kaunteya muktas sangha samachara. So here, Krishna tells Arjuna, perform every action with an attitude of offering it to the Lord. Like when we do yajna, a sacrificial ritual, etc. And also he says, perform all actions without any attachment to the results. Perform all your actions as a puja to the Lord. Otherwise, if you do not convert your action into worship, then what will happen? He says, karma bandhanaha. Every action will become a bondage for you. It will give rise to punya and papa and keep you perpetually in samsara. Action performed as worship with the karma yoga attitude leads to liberation, whereas action which is not worship is a cause of bondage. Therefore, yajnanartam karma kuru. Perform all your actions with a karma yoga attitude. Because if you see, every action which causes stress and strain is a poison for us, isn't it? That's why, today seminars and courses on stress management is a very big business. It's a different matter that those who conduct such courses themselves are stressed about such events. Will I make profit? Will many people attend and pay me a hefty fee? I have already booked this 5-star hotel and all the facilities there. I have ordered for food at 5-star rates for so many people. All these organizations go through all this stress. And there is stress everywhere if we look at it. There is stress at home, there is stress at workplace, there is stress while traveling, there is stress in relationship, there is stress in living in a rented house, and there is stress in living in one's own house also. There is stress when one is unable to marry, and there is stress when one is married also. So stress has become the common factor in everything that we do. It has become the common factor in all our actions. Why? Because we have moved away from a cooperative culture to a competitive culture, which has been imported from the West. Our Vedic culture was never a competitive culture. It was a cooperative culture. It was a very inclusive culture. Every person had a role to perform in the society by which he could upgrade himself and also contribute to the welfare of the society. There was harmony in the society. Coexistence was there. Today, what has happened? All because of this competition. And that is why we quite often read that people in their 30s and 40s are falling prey to diseases like blood pressure, hypertension, that is same thing, diabetes, high cholesterol, heart attacks, etc. They get all kinds of psychosomatic diseases, all stress-induced diseases. And that's why, Muthu Swamiji quotes, what is the difference between a life of competition and a life of cooperation? He says competition is a deadly thing to the society because once there is competition, there is only selfishness. I don't want to share any knowledge with other person. I don't want to share my resources with the other person. I don't want anybody to get ahead of me in life. One company does not want to share its knowledge with another company. One country does not want to share the scientific advancement with other countries. Even if they do, they extract a huge price and they call it competitive advantage. There is no advantage in competition from the point of view of the interest of the individual or the interest of the society. So the result is in competition, we turn selfish. We do not share what we have. Whereas in cooperation alone, there is growth. Generally, people argue that in competition, the best comes out of human beings. But our view is, in competition, only the worst comes in human beings. And that's why, we see, in sports, etc., where there is heavy competition. What is the result? There is cheating, there is match fixing, there are drugs, all those things. Because somehow I want to win. I want to be ahead of others. Competition. Veda says competition is a disease called Matsaryam. Matsaryaha, jealousy is the evil of competition. It's a philosophy of live and let die. Therefore, the Vedic vision is competition should be replaced by cooperation. I should be happy when the other person also thrives. It is live and let live philosophy. I should not become jealous when the other person thrives. And that's why today, we see people have got high levels of income, but low levels of happiness. People accumulate lot of wealth, but they are seldom able to enjoy it because managing the wealth itself becomes a source of stress. What is the use of such wealth if you cannot eat well and sleep well because of all the diseases that you have got? Therefore, there is only one way to remove the stress, and that is convert your life, convert all your actions into worship, and tell yourself, for whatever I receive for my action, I will treat it as prasadaha, Ishwara prasadaha. In fact, my mother, no, she gave me a mantra in my childhood, which has served me well throughout my life. A very simple one. Most of you might have heard it also. In fact, she wrote it in the, I remember, I used to have this, what they call, they take signature of people, some small book is there. I don't know what this.
Autograph book.
Autograph.
So when I started an autograph book. The first person I went was to my mother. Usually that's what children do, go to their parents. So she wrote in that, do your duty come what may, trust in God and do the right. Such a wonderful, profound message at a very young age. I got that from my mother. And it has served me very well throughout my life. Now I realize that that message was nothing but karma yoga. So therefore, he says, Yajnatat karmanah kuru. Let your life be an offering to the Lord. Let your work be a worship. And you can start right from the time you get up from the bed in the morning. Because when we say all our action offer to the Lord, that means what? In everything that we do, there should be a prayer, an offering to the Lord involved, isn't it? So, right from the time even before you open your eyes, the Shastra says, just about when you are going to open your eyes in the morning to wake up, hold both your palms in front of your eyes and then open your eyes so that the first thing that you see in the morning is your own palms. And you chant this mantra also, it says, Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule stita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. So there are variations of this mantra. But you start the day mentally chanting a mantra and looking at your hand, which is one of the most important limbs which you have got. All your actions you do with the, I would say not all, most of your actions, hands are involved, isn't it? Then when you step over the earth, that is, you put your foot down on the earth, on the floor, you ask for forgiveness by chanting this mantra. Samudra vasane devi parvatastana mandale Vishnu patni namastubhyam padasparsham kshamaswame. So, as even I step over the earth, the floor, I ask for forgiveness. My gratitude begins right at the beginning of the morning. It's a beautiful creation of the Lord. And unfortunately, I have to step on Mother Earth. And for that, I ask forgiveness. What a subtle, what an appreciable culture we have. Then we go for a bath. Either you open the shower or fill the water in a bucket, etc., whatever way you are used to. But look at the water, even if you can touch that water and chant, Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Guru. You invoke all the sacred rivers of the country of India in that water. And then you take bath with the attitude as if you are getting an abhishekam done for you by all the waters of the sacred rivers. Again, a beautiful concept. Prayerful attitude always. I appreciate the beautiful water. One of the most wonderful products, chemical products of this creation. The more you think of the glory of water, the more you feel like offering prostration rather. Without water, there will be no life. And those who do Sandhya Vandana, no, they will know this mantra. Apo va idagum sarvam vishwa bhutanyapah prana va apah pashavo apo nam annamapah amritamapah samradapo viradapah swaradapaschanda gushyapo jyoti gushyapo yaju gushyapo satyamapah sarva devata apo bhurбhuva suaro. This mantra occurs in Mahanarayana Upanishad. Everything is water. That is the visualization. Without water, nothing is there. Verily, all that is here is water. All created beings. Vishwan Bhutan Apaha. All created beings are water. The vital breaths in the body are water. Pranava Apaha. Pashavaha Apaha. The four-limbed quadrupeds are water. Annamapaha. Edible crops are water. Amritamapaha. Samradapaha. All kingdoms are water. Swaradapaha. Swaradapaha. The Vedic meters are water. Viratapaha. The entire cosmos is water. So the luminaries are water, Chanda Gushyapaha. Yaju Gushyapaha, the Vedic mantras are water. Satyamapaha, the truth is water. All deities are water. Devata Apaha. And the three words denoted by Bhuhu, Bhuvaha and Suvaha are also water. And the source of all these is the Supreme, denoted by the syllable O. Every day, 3 times a day, take a water in the hand. When you do Sandhya Vandanam, you chant this mantra. Just see that water, how much you are giving respect to that water. Then after Bhumi, that is, we have already seen the Bhumi, earth, Apaha, appreciate, take water in the hand and appreciate the wonderful product without which life cannot exist. And that's why when the scientists look for, or explorers, they look for life in other planets, they first look for water. And God has blessed us with plenty of water. In fact, 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water only. Therefore, my attitude toward water is an attitude of reverence, an attitude of appreciation, attitude of gratitude. Similarly, I consider Vayu, air, which gives me vital oxygen, without which I cannot survive even for a moment. Om Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. I do not take oxygen for granted. I look upon Vayu verily as Brahman himself or Brahman itself. Brahman is a neutral word, so it should be, I can't say himself. It is Brahman itself. Therefore, Vedic life is an intense awareness of the environment, appreciation of the earth, appreciation of water, appreciation of air, appreciation of fire. Rigveda starts Agni Mile Purohidam Yajnasya Deva Mritwijam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam. almost every ritual, it begins with a prayer to Agni fire. Even when you light a lamp in your house at the altar of prayer, you chant Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Arogyam Dhana Sampatah Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya Deepo Jyoti Namostute Deepo Jyoti Parabrahma Deepo Jyoti Janardhana Deepo Haratu Me Papam Sandhya Deepo Namostute. So the fire, the light, you are praying, let the light, let it enlighten me and remove all my papa. So here also, Deepo Jyoti Parabrahma. Light, the lamp is looked upon as Parabrahman. And also the most important element is Akasha, space, without which we cannot exist. In fact, even a mosquito, even coronavirus requires a space to exist, isn't it? Most important requirement for every living being and non-living being. And space in which all directions are included. And with directions are accommodated, we are also very well accommodated. Again, Sandhya Vandana Mantram, I offer prostration to Akasha. Prachyai Dishe Namaha, Dakshinayai Dishe Namaha, Pratichyai Dishe Namaha, Udichyai Dishe Namaha, Urdhvaya Namaha, Adharaya Namaha, Antarikshaya Namaha, Bhumyai Namaha, Brahmane Namaha, Vishnave Namaha, Rudraya Namaha, Yamaya Namaha. So we are not only the space, but also we offer prostration, offer our respect to Vishnu, to Shiva, to Yama also. Because Yama is the Dakshina Disha, the lord of the, the southern, Dakshina, the lord of the south direction. So we face south and say Yamaya Namaha, and then there is a mantra also, Yamaya Dharma Rajaya Mrityave Chantakaya Cha. There is a mantra also you chant. If you just look at it, from the Vedic perspective, everything, all 5 elements are gifts of the Lord, and therefore I am intensely aware of them. I do not have to produce them. I do not even want to need to maintain them, purify them. What I have to do is that take care that I do not pollute them. Such a life itself is the greatest offering to the Lord. Bhagavan says, you need not maintain the creation, you will only mess it. I know how to do that. But if you do not disturb the harmony, that is the greatest offering you can give me. Therefore, convert your life as an offering to me. It is called yajna. And any life which violates this beautiful harmony and rhythm, Krishna says, that is bondage to the entire humanity. That will destroy humanity. Therefore, he says, Yajnarthat karmana. Let your life be an offering to the Lord. Let your work be worship. If not so, I am loko karma bandhanaha. All actions which are not meant for Ishvara worship are only bondage. And that is the beauty. Action can be a binding action, and the same action can be a liberating action also. Like, the cobra poison. The poison can kill a person within a few minutes. But the very same poison can be converted into a medicine to save people from snake bites. Or maybe there are other applications, medicinal applications. Therefore, the same poison can be a killer and a savior depending upon how it is handled. Similarly, action can be a binder or a savior. So the message that Krishna wants to give is that action by itself neither binds nor liberates, but it all depends upon how you handle the action. Action minus devotion is a bondage. Action plus devotion is a liberator. And that is the basic principle of Karma Yoga. And action plus devotion is called Yajna. Action minus devotion is called just plain karma. Yajna liberates, karma binds. Therefore, do all your actions. Mentally say with the sankalpa, Mamopata samasta durdakshay dvara sri parameshwara prityartam. I am offering this action of mine as an offering to the Lord. Parameshwara prityartam. I am happy that I have done this as an offering to the Lord. Therefore, may you do all your actions as a worship to the Lord. And do not bother what others will think, what others will say. As I keep repeating, spiritual journey is your personal journey and has got nothing to do with others. You have to take care of, only take care that others do not become obstacles in your journey. That is the only thing that you have to take care. But our problem today is what? That we expect appreciation from all other people for whatever we do. And that leads to anxiety and stress. Ujja Swamiji says beautifully, it is our duty to appreciate others. You have to note this very carefully. He says, while we should not expect appreciation from others for what all we do, it is our duty to appreciate others for what they do. Because our society is duty-based society. He further says, where duty is emphasized, humility will come. Whereas where right is emphasized, fight will come, court will come, divorce will come. All these things will come. Therefore, Krishna says, Tadartham karma kaunteya. You do what you have to do as an offering to the Lord. And how one should perform such a karma? He says, Mukta Sangaha Samachara. Perform without attachment, without expecting anything in return. Mukta Sangaha. Mukta Sangaha does not mean where what we are saying is attachment. We have to understand. It means without bothering about the consequences. That's a prasada buddhi comes in there. Whatever it comes, it's okay with me. I will do my duty. I have to perform this action, whether I like it or I don't like it. No raga dvesha involved in what I am doing. When I do that with mukta sangha attitude, that is karma yoga. And Lord Krishna continues in the next sloka, says why karma is to be done. Saha yajna praja srishtva urovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yeshavostvishta kamaduk. Another beautiful sloka. Anmaya is Pura Prajapatihi Sahayajnyaha Prajaha Srishtva Uvacha. Anena Yuyam Prasavishyadvam Yeshaha Vaha Ishtakamaduk Astu Iti. Pura, in the beginning, Prajapatihi, the creator, Sahayajnyaha, together with the yajna, that is all the rituals. Prajaha, human beings. Srishtva, having created. Uvacha, said. What did he say? Yuyam, you. Anena, by this, that is by this yajna. prasavishyadvam, may you multiply. Yeshaha, this vaha for you, ishtakamaduk, the wish fulfilling cow astu. So may this yajna be. Iti thus. So in the beginning, the creator having created the human beings, excuse me. Sorry. So in the beginning, the creator having created human beings along with yajna said thus, uvacha. He said, by this yajna shall you multiply. May this yajna be a wish fulfilling cow for you. Very Krishna presents in a very crispy language, and we have to dig out the import, the meaning, what all things are implied in this. Prajapati, we all know, means the creator, Lord Brahmaji, Lord of all beings. The statement Pura Prajapati Uvacha, in the beginning the Lord said, refers to the Vedas. As we know, Veda is a body of knowledge considered not to have been written by anyone. Instead, it is looked upon as knowledge revealed to the ancient sages or rishis by the Lord himself. So what the Lord said then is in the Veda, and what he said is for the sake of human beings he has created. So all that the Lord has said is contained in the Veda, and Veda is meant for human beings. Because he created these Vedas only for human beings, because only human beings can pursue the four Purusharthas using their free will. And therefore, he has not created this for animals or any other living beings other than human beings. Animals, first of all, do not have a free will. They are programmed and they do not need the knowledge contained in the Veda. They can't use it also. They don't have a free will. And along with the human beings, the Lord created the yajnas and enjoined everyone to perform the rituals. And of course, other karmas, they are found in the Vedas. And as we have seen, Vedic rituals cover all phases of life. Even before a child is born, a ritual is performed. We all know. In the, I think, 6th month or 8th month of the pregnancy, the ritual is performed for the would-be mother. The Sanskrit word for the wife is patni, and for the husband is patihi. This all we know. So the pati in patihi, if you look at English, this is the I, or in Sanskrit it will be E. In pati is replaced by nakara, N, and the feminine suffix E is added to the form to form the word patni, meaning wife. The Panini Sutras are sutras which contain the entire grammar for Sanskrit language. So this rule which I told you, how the word pati is converted into patni, that's a grammatical rule. And Panini Maharaj says that the substitution is done only when a woman is connected to a man for the purpose of doing yajna, meaning a Vedic ritual. Otherwise, he cannot be called a Patni. And a man marries for this reason alone, because without a wife, he cannot perform certain rituals enjoined by the Veda. That is why the marriage itself is considered to be a very solemn and a dharmic action. Most Vedic rituals require one's wife or patni to take part. Even though the husband or the pati actually performs the rituals, he cannot do so without the wife's permission, nor can he perform it without her. We have to understand the institution of marriage, Unfortunately, most people just think that marriage is nothing but an excuse for kama, pursuit of kama purushartha. It has a religious purpose, a dharmic purpose. And that is why the wife is also called sahadharmini, the one who is going to partner with the man in performance of dharmic activities. The very taking of a woman's hand in marriage, accepting another person into one's life, is religious. And the beauty of our culture is the woman herself need not perform any Vedic ritual, because she naturally receives half the results of the rituals that her husband performs. The punya that the husband gets, the woman, the patni, gets half of it. How does she get it? And there is a very beautiful ritual within the marriage ritual itself for that. In fact, many people ask this question. This Upanayanam ceremony is meant only for men. Why women are not, given this Upanayanam ceremony? So only men are given. That's a sort of a male-dominated society. Women have been confined to the kitchen, look after the household, etc., etc. Why women cannot, learn Vedas by going through the Upanayanam ceremony? This is a question many women these days ask. Olden days, nobody used to ask this question. They understood what it was. Because today, education on such matters is so rare that people have to ask these questions. In fact, the fact that women also undergo Upanayanam ceremony is not known to many people. Whereas for the man, the Upanayanam ceremony is performed separately as Brahmopadesha, and because he has to leave for the Gurukulam to study the Vedas, for the woman, the same ceremony is performed at the time of her marriage. How? Some of the very important events of this Upanayanam ritual is, one is called Maunji Bandhanam. That is, grass is tied to the waist of the boy. Another is called Asmarohanam. He climbs a stone, a rocky stone, he climbs. These are all Upanayanam ceremony important. Third important, he wears a thread, that sacred thread, 3 strands, which has got 3 strands. These are all for Upanayanam important rituals. The same rituals the woman performs at the time of marriage. Maunji Bandhanam is done, Asmarohanam is done. And instead of the woman wearing the thread, she delegates all her duties and powers to the husband, and therefore the husband wears that thread instead of the woman. That is why in marriage, a brahmachari who has got a 3-strand thread he gets one more 3-strand thread, which is actually belongs to the wife, the patni, but husband undertakes, appoints himself, or you can put it this way, the woman appoints the husband as her agent, and in token of that, the husband wears that 3-strand thread, extra 3-strand thread, and then he performs all Vedic karmas. And when all the karmas he performs and he gets all punya, 50% of that goes to the woman. That is why the woman in our culture need not perform any of these things. Today, what is happening? Women think that by learning all these Vedas and things like that and all, they will get punya. They will not get punya. They may, by Vedas, they will not get punya, because for learning Veda, one has to do it properly with a proper teacher, go to Gurukulam and all. Today, people are learning Vedas as part-time business. I attend n number of classes. One of them is a Veda class. That's not going to help anybody. And men folks mostly have stopped doing Vedika karmas. Even Sandhya Vandanam also very few people do that. So therefore, there is no generation of any punyam, no question of sharing the punyam. And the beauty of it is that while punyam is shared equally between the husband and wife, all the adharmic activities which the husband does, the papam which can be attributed to those, they are not shared. They are kept with the husband only. Therefore, I say that if women today want to earn punya, they must force their husbands to do all the Vaidika karmas as much as possible. That is where that is how they should approach this issue. So any sins the husband may perform belong to him alone. That's why, in our culture, the woman, she wins hands down. As they say, what is that? Some head is mine and tail is also mine, something like that. They say, tail is yours.
A win-win situation.
Sorry?
Heads you win, tails you lose.
A win-win situation.
A win-win situation for the women.
Yeah, the other way is heads you win, tails you lose.
Sorry.
I said the heads you win, tails you lose.
The heads you win, tails you lose. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I forgot that something. So it is a sort of for a woman, but one thing she has to ensure, and today's woman can ensure that. They have a lot of power in the house. They can no longer be told, oh, go and sit in that corner and all that. There will be a big riot. They can tell the husband, get up in the morning, do Sandhya Vandanam and all. At least 3 times do Sandhya Vandanam. You are retired doing nothing. Watching TV and chit-chatting with all the neighbors and all that, and bringing all the neighborhood problems into our house. Creating stress and tension here where we don't need all that. So the woman has got a role to play even today in all these matters. So even though the wife is not required to perform rituals, she has specific duties related to them, such as preparing a certain food. In fact, I was listening to Nochur's talk recently. In Shraddham and all, there we normally these days, of course, olden days people used to get together and prepare the food for the Brahmins and all that. But these days, the women don't have that capacity to do, or there are, the families are all become totally nuclear. So we get somebody from outside to do it, prepare the food and all that. According to the scriptures, and that's what I have heard from Nochu, I have not myself studied the scriptures. He says that is not the right way to do the Shraddha. It is not necessary what kind of food you prepare. You just prepare the ordinary food that you prepare every day at home and feed the Brahmins. But that food should be prepared with Shraddha by the woman. That I am preparing this food as an offering to my ancestors, to the lineage to which I have been married into. That Shraddha should be there. So she has to prepare the food. That's the right way of doing it. So that's why there is a sharing of responsibility. The husband performs a ritual, the wife gives permission, helps in the preparations and attends them also, because she enables him to be qualified to perform the rituals. She is called Patni, meaning that she is connected to Yajna. Thus, the inherent in the grammar of such words as Patni is a Vedic attitude about marriage. As I said, in our culture, for every stage in life, a ritual is performed starting from Jateshti, or what they call Jata Karma, to Antyeshti, the ritual connected with the disposal of the dead body. Thus, in the Vedic vision, a child is born of rituals, is maintained by rituals. Vedas ordain Sandhya Vandanam ritual to be performed 3 times a day. There is a ritual for taking bath. There is a ritual for eating. There is even a mantra you have to chant while wearing clothes. There is another ritual at the end of the meal, using water as a mantra. In this way, everything is a ritual, and throughout the life this continues. So such a life of sacrifice is prescribed by the Vedas themselves for the harmony and progress of the society. Such a life of contribution, such a life of sharing is called Yajna way of life, and it is prescribed by the Vedas themselves. For whose benefit? For our own benefit. And that is why we say that the Vedas are like a manual which has come along with the creation itself. Just like when we buy any gadget like a fridge, TV, or mobile phone, etc., we get a manual how to install the product, how to handle the product, what is to be done in case we encounter some problem in their operations, etc. What they call troubleshooting. And these manuals containing the instructions are given in many languages also. Why such instructions are given? Because the manufacturer alone knows the ideal way of handling the product. The instructions are meant for the benefit of the users. Therefore, before using any product, one is expected to thoroughly read and understand the instructions. Now the Lord has created the world for the human beings. He has given a manual of instructions called Veda, and Bhagavan Krishna, because of his compassion, has actually condensed the whole manual of instructions into, as they call it, along with that's come easy to install or something like quick installation, like that. So, yes, in the form of Bhagavad Gita, he has condensed the whole manual of instructions so that it becomes much easier for us who don't have an exposure to study the Vedas in detail, can at least study Bhagavad Gita and still apply the whole thing, handle our life, lead our life accordingly. Therefore, it becomes incumbent upon every human being to first study the instructions and follow them. And of course, this was what was done in the Gurukulams and Patashalas in the Vedic period. So here Krishna says, Prajapati Prajasrishtva. Brahmaji, the creator, having created all the living beings, including human beings. And when he do that? Pura, long before, Adhav, in the beginning, at the time of Srishti. And Saha Yajna, together with Yajna, that is along with the manual of right living, which is Veda. Thereafter, he called the human beings alone and gave the Vedas to them so that they will know how to live in the world and get maximum benefit out of the world. Maximum benefit means they can know how to pursue and attain the human goals, dharma, artha, kama, and even moksha purushartha also. And along with this manual, he also gave free will only to human beings, which was necessary for the pursuit of purusharthas. And what we are witnessing in the world and the society today is the result of ignorance of these instructions in the manual. We do not know how to handle ourselves. We do not know how to handle the world. And we are seeing how our life has become environment unfriendly. In the process, we are destroying the world and also destroying ourselves. Therefore, the Veda is the manual which prescribes a life of harmony called Yajna. And here Krishna says, perform all your actions by following the manual and lead a life of Yajna for your prosperity. Otherwise, you will be the cause of your own destruction. And having created the human beings, he said, Hey Arjuna, anena prasavishyadvam. Anena means by this, means with the life of karma yoga, by this life of yajna, which is given out in the Vedic manual, by following that, prasavishyadvam, may you prosper. Sorry. The word prasava means growth. It's an interesting word here. You begin your life with just yourself. Aham, I, myself. When you get married, there are two of you because of which, and that triggers the entire growth process. Does the singular first become dual and then becomes plural, then 3, 4 more. So Krishna says that by yajna may you grow, may your tribe increase. And whenever the word uvacha, that is said, is used as it is in this verse, there is always an intention involved. Therefore, to understand a sentence, you have to see the intention. So here, when he says prasavishyadvam, so by giving human beings the rituals that are in the Veda, the Lord intended for us to grow. Let this yajna be the cause for growth for you. And yeshaha vaha ishtakamadhuk astu. Let this be the cow that yields anything that you desire. Let it be your wish-fulfilling cow. Of course, the cow Krishna was referring to was certainly not our ordinary milk-giving cow, right? This particular cow is called Kamadhenu. And it belonged to a very well-known sage, Vasishta. And there is an interesting story. Many of you know that also. One day, a king by name Kaushika, who later became sage Vishwamitra, came to the forest where sage Vasishta lived. And the king was accompanied by a huge retinue of army. All of them were hungry. Finding Vasishta's hut, they went inside and asked for food. And in only 5 minutes, food was served to all of them. And when this king asked Vasishta how this had been possible, the sage replied that he had a cow in the yard. So this king asked him, what does a cow have to do with all this wonderful food? Vasishta said, the cow gives everything. Vasishta replied. Then the king asked Vasishta to give him that cow. He says, I have got so many people in the country, they have to feed them. So if I get this cow, nobody will go hungry. I can feed all of them. Vasishtha told the king that he could give him the cow, but it would not be of any use to him because it would yield only to the one who is a Brahma Rishi. And the king was a Kshatriya. He was a king, he was not a Brahma Rishi. That is how, the king went into penance and all that. And ultimately, Vasishtha himself admitted Vishwamitra as a Brahma Rishi. So the story, of course, basically a metaphor based on the real meaning of the word Brahma Rishi, one who has got the knowledge whereby everything is gained. Vasishtha had this knowledge and Kaushika did not have. Of course, after he became Vishwamitra, he did. So, by knowing the whole Brahman as oneself, everything is well known. Having this knowledge, the person has got everything because he is everything. Therefore, Vasishtha's wish-fulfilling cow Kamadhenu stands for knowledge. So Krishna is saying here, let the knowledge of Brahman prove to be the Kamadhenu, let it fulfill all your wishes. It's a symbolic expression of human intellect. In fact, human intellect is the Kamadhenu, because with human intellect we can accomplish anything and everything. Just look at all the scientific progress, technological advancements, improvement in the field of medicine, a more comfortable lifestyle, all have been possible only because of human intelligence. Apply appropriately, it is Kamadhenu for you. What all it can milk Artha, Kama, Dharma. Not only that, it can also milk Moksha also. If you are sufficiently intelligent and mature. So, intelligent way of living is Kamadhenuhu. Karma Yoga is Kamadhenuhu. And therefore, Krishna says, Yeshaha Karma Yogaha Yeshaha Yajna Ishta Kamadub Vahaha. Vahaha means for you, astu. And that is why Veda is not against material progress. We do not curse television. We do not curse computer. We do not curse the discovery of cars, discovery of what you call rockets, etc., even though they are all materialistic in nature. As a spiritual seeker, I need not condemn them. They are all gift of the Lord. In fact, we are ourselves using them. We don't criticize science. Veda is never against science. What Veda says is that if you are committed to material progress only, and if you do not parallelly bring the spiritual growth also, the very same materialism can become deadly. Because every human being is a mixture of matter and spirit, anatma and atma. Therefore, the growth in life should be well-balanced growth. And what is a well-balanced growth? Scientific progress also must be there. Economic progress also must be there. These are all wonderful things, but let them not be an obstacle to the spiritual growth. Now, what is the spiritual growth? The ultimate growth is discovery of the fact that I am the Atma, which is the substratum, the adhishthanam of the whole universe. Infinite expansion is spiritual growth. Physically, you cannot expand beyond a limit. Mentally also, you can't expand beyond a limit. Intellectually also, you cannot expand beyond a limit. Total expansion, infinite growth is possible only spiritually. Therefore, cater to spiritual growth while you are pursuing the material things. And such a balanced pursuit of material, dharma, artha, kama, as well as self-knowledge is called karma yoga. Therefore, yeshaha karma yoga vahaha, for you, be a kama denuhu, be a kama duk. Okay. think we'll stop here and take the next sloka in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Namaskaram.
Guruji, I just wanted to ask you one thing. This Viveka Chudamani, you said that you circulated any PDF for Viveka Chudamani books?
Yeah, in the group I posted PDF, all the 108 slokas.
I didn't see that at all, actually.
You have thanked me also for that.
Oh, okay.
Check your WhatsApp messages.
Yeah, I'll check, Guruji. If it is not there, I will contact you again. Then.
Yeah, you send me a message, I will send it to you again. In fact,
Okay.
some student also asked me, I sent it to her. I don't remember her name. But if you have not got it, I sent it even before the beginning of the classes.
Because I didn't see that at all.
Yes.
I knew that you were sending it because you were replying somebody saying
Yeah.
that I have sent a PDF. I
Yeah.
knew that, but when
You
you
send
sent
me a message so that I will remember. I will send it to you immediately, today itself.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om. Thank
Hari
you.
Om. Thank you. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji. Dhanyawada, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Guruji,
Yes, Krishnanji.
Guruji,
Hari
we
Narayan.
discussed so much about water. You know, years ago when we were in some discussion, it came out. The next major war will be due to water.
Yeah.
Although 3/4 of the earth is covered with water,
Yeah.
the available for use is diminishing day by day.
Correct.
Rivers are all running dry.
Correct.
So that is going to be a big problem, and people have to really worship water and conserve it carefully and use it carefully.
Yeah. See, the reason why
hope
the
it will
water is
happen.
becoming scarce also is because people are not treating water the way it needs to be treated.
Yeah.
Putting the water,
Yes.
river water. See, river water is a potable water. You pollute the river,
Absolutely.
what will happen? Then you won't, that much water is lost for you rather. So it's again non-Vedic approach to all these things is the environment is the problem, the basic problem. That's it. You're right.
Absolutely. And there is an interest rate problem and all that.
Yeah, those things are there. All are man-made.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
Absolutely.
if we don't
Yes.
learn to live, in harmony with the environment will sustain itself. It has got its own methods. The order of Ishvara, which we keep on talking about, the cosmic order, that has got solutions to take care of itself for its survival till the pralaya. What will be this casualty?
True.
Will be human beings will be the casualty. Like once
True.
upon a time, so many species have vanished. We will also vanish from this earth one fine day. That's what will happen. And
Ultimately.
at the use of our free will, use or misuse of our free will.
That's true.
That's what is
No,
happening.
like you said towards the end about the technology and everything. Now, what is happening in Russia, Ukraine?
Yeah.
Hopefully, it should not lead into a nuclear war.
Exactly.
So,
Everybody who has done all these things, some inventors are regretting, I should not have done this, I should not have done that. What's the point? You already done that. The world is facing the music. Rather.
exactly. Precisely.
That is the thing.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Interesting. Thank you very much.
Hari
Om.
ji. Namaste.
Guruji, today I have 3 questions. 2 are connected with what you have taught us today. One is not connected with what you.
Okay.
The first one is, in spite of all these Shastras and Vedas so clearly and meticulously and so precisely they have taught, and we have been doing our ancestors. been doing so very meticulously. How did it happen that as the generation passes on, that we are giving up the importance of this Vedic life?
Your question is
It
how
is-
it happened?
How is it? It is not only happened, it is happening also.
Yes.
So whatever
Delusion.
whatever little bit I am doing, my children may be doing even maybe 1/5 or 1/10, I don't know. At all they will do.
There are two ways.
Where did the Arsha Bharat, where did we fail?
We can actually answer it in two ways. One is that we can call it, it is a Kali Yuga Lakshana. Because in Bhagavatam, it is said that the entire dharma means basically the Vedas, right? That's why Vedas are called Dharma Pramana. Dharmas, in the Satyuga, Dharma is compared to a cow which had 4 legs in the Satyuga. Then in the Treta Yuga, 1 leg was lost and it was standing on 3 legs. And that is why we see in the Treta Yuga, and actually I have a view that if you look at the role of a woman, how woman is treated in a society, that indicates the maturity of the society. So in the Satyuga, we have got stories of, Satyavati, who was so powerful that she could actually retrieve Satyavan from Yamadharma Raja's hold. Right? The story we have got. So she was so powerful. Highest, to retrieve somebody from death, from the clutches of death, is the maximum. Even doctors today, no doctor can do that. That story was there. Come Treta Yuga, what happens to the woman's role? Woman is kidnapped. So even there are, things like Rama trying to asking Sita to prove herself and things like that and all. So one level lower it becomes. So what is happening? Dharma lost 1 leg. Dharma, the cow, has lost 1 leg. So in Treta Yuga, it was standing on 3 legs. Then come to Dwapara Yuga. What happens? Woman is disrobed in front of everybody in the king's court. And nobody, including great illustrious people like Bhishmacharya, are witnessing the whole thing without opening their mouth or doing anything about it. So again, further degradation of women's status in the society. These are all symbolic. We must to understand, how it is. All symbolic, rather. Stories are, woven around all these things. So in the Dwapara Yuga, the Dharma, the cow called Dharma, was standing on 2 legs. And come Kali Yuga, we are seeing ourselves what is the status of the woman. And mind you, Kali Yuga has only completed 5,000 odd years. Out of 4,32,000 years is the life of Kali Yuga. We are in the Pratama Pada of Kali Yuga. When we do Sankalpa, Pratame Pade, Jambu Deepe. So first Pada only, that is the condition now for what we are witnessing. So it's said that in Kali Yuga, Dharma will have stand in only 1 leg. And as Kali Yuga progresses, that leg will become weak and weak and weak and weak, and then finally Pralaya will come and everything will go into unmanifest condition. This is the cycle of creation. So one way you can say that, what is happening today should not be surprising, because it is the progression or regression, whatever you can call, which is as per the pattern. In Kali Yuga, this is bound to be happening. One way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is, you can say, Kali Yuga, 1,000 years ago, our forefathers were doing all these things. Why did we lose all that? we can certainly attribute it to intervention by foreign cultural elements and our own greed for materialistic accumulation of materialistic wealth that has led to this current situation, and it will lead to further deterioration only. Rather, we have today, our Veda is only one worded manual: money. Do whatever you want to do, you earn money, somehow earn money, money. That has become our only goal in life. So when you are focusing only on that, everything else becomes secondary. Why do we send our children, or I would put it this way, why do our children go to America, Canada and all that? For money. How much money do they require? So these are all questions for one to introspect. Even I have led a life which was going astray from all these things. But now if I realize whether I am trying my best to come back into the track is what the question we must address ourselves. What is happening around us, we have no control over it. We have control only over what happens to us and what we do. So therefore, if we realize that something that I am doing is not in conformity with the Vedas, not in conformity with our culture, which our forefathers were following, what is the maximum that I can do in order to be in conformity with that? That is the answer we have to find ourselves, each individual will have to find. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I think in our scriptures, we don't have any sticks. We only have carrots. So when it comes to Christianity and Islam, yeah,
scriptures,
it's not enforceable. You know, we have, we say punya, thing, all that, but there is nothing, you know, something like in Christianity where there is a cost associated with not following their tradition. I mean, ours is where the Vedas are actually a body of knowledge, we say, right? And it's voluntary on your, you know, on your side, whether to learn that or not.
now
And
that also made it voluntary now. There is no question of voluntary. You are given a manual with whether you read it or not, you say it is voluntary. You use it without reading it. It may conk off also. Then you go to the manufacturer, he will say, I gave you a manual, you know, you read the paragraph so and so and so. You are not supposed to do this. You have done that. So now warranty is off for this. So there is nothing like, you know, Christianity has got this and all. Christianity has borrowed everything from us only, rather.
And they added,
in Vedas, we are saying all these things about Vedas without studying the Vedas, without understanding what is there. You say Punya Papa is not there. Isn't it?
No, I'm not saying it's not there, but what I'm saying is it is not inducement enough for people to adhere to our principles, what Vedas.
That is because they don't understand the connection.
Excuse me, may I say something? In the last class, Hariji had asked a question as to why we need so many scriptures. And you explained the nature of the Manda, the Uttama, and the Madhyama people. So amongst Christians also, they have the commandments, but how many of them follow it? So it is a human endeavor. It's not what the scriptures give us, but we fail. So that's, I think, the point that Guruji is trying to make, that it is our effort plus what we have as tools to utilize that will give us the results. But again, it comes down to us.
Thank you, Premaji. I'll ask a simple question. There are so many people, yoga is something very, you know, popular today, isn't it? Everybody says, I am practicing yoga. Do you really think that what they claim is true, that they are practicing yoga?
No.
They want to practice yogasana And that too with an attitude of physical exercise. I think somebody is unmuted and there's a lot of disturbance coming. So if anybody wants to ask a question, please unmute yourself, and others please stay in mute so that there's no echo. There's a lot of background noise coming. So what is yoga? You say Ashtanga Yoga. What is Ashtanga Yoga? What are the first anga of Ashtanga Yoga? First two angas rather. You know that?
Yama Niyama.
Yama Niyama. 5 do's and 5 don'ts. What is 10 commandments? Tell me, from where they got these commandments? From Patanjali Sutra only, from Yoga Sutras only they have got. And we are just today, Christianity is great. And we just go on because we have not studied our own scripture. What we are taught in the schools and other places are all these kind of 10 commandments we are taught. Have you been taught Yama Niyama in your school? 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. 10.
Yeah.
Follow that. Anybody, you don't need to do anything. You follow the first 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. That itself will be a life of karma yoga. So there are so many things, we can discuss, we can talk. It is as Premaji says, our personal endeavor. What is it that you are? You can always blame the world, blame everybody else. Point the finger. Remember, 3 fingers are pointing towards yourself. That is what we have to understand. So we have to, if we are serious, we have to undertake a serious study of our scriptures, understand what are there, what is punya and papa, how they affect our life. All these things, first of course, approaching this, you must have Shraddha. That is there. You must have some faith that they are talking. It's a manual. It's not some rubbish that is being given. If you don't have that also, then that doesn't matter. You just keep on leading your life, which is what all animals also do: eat, sleep, and make merry. That's all they also do. So that is a different thing altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with everything that you said. What I'm saying is, in these, when it comes to, and I'm not in any way saying that Christianity is superior to our practice or anything. All I'm saying is, in Christianity, Christians, what I've heard is, if they don't go to church regularly and then be in the good books of the Reverend Father, they won't get buried in their that cemetery, whatever it is. Some kind of cost associated with not following their practices, those kind of at the very low level. But then what I'm saying is, these kind of edicts, enforces, like just like when you come to a red light, you need to stop. There are some rules, so they enforce them strictly, whereas we don't have any such rules per se. That's one of the reasons I feel for not many of us following, though we are we are essentially Hindus in name only. That is,
I agree with you that today we have been reduced to that kind of a situation. I am with you on that, right? But the question that Hariji asked, why? And I answered why. The point is, if you have realized that there is a value in that, in following the Yama Yama, following what the Vedas say, do all your actions in the Karma Yoga attitude, if you find that there is a value in that, let everybody else do whatever they want to do. Let Christians do what they want to do. Let even our own Hindus do what they want to do. What am I going to do for my benefit? That is what I have to look at it now. Because the emphasis of it is that whenever I follow all these rules, for example, you gave the example of traffic light. Is stopping in a traffic light enforceable rule, or it is a rule which everybody should follow for the benefit of one own self and benefit of everybody else? Tell me that. It's a different thing that the government has enforced that if you break the traffic light or if you run through that, you will be penalized and all that. But in essence, stopping in a traffic light, whether it is a right thing to do or not a right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do. It
Correct.
is in the well-being advantage.
By doing
For the
that,
good of the
even
society, yeah.
let there be no other traffic. I mean, I have seen this. Only in India, we have got all these problems. You go to Canada, you go to the US, whether there is then there's not even a traffic light at the corner, at every turning, there is a stop sign, right? A red sign says stop. Now, every driver, whether there is traffic or not, when he reaches that stop sign, he will stop the vehicle, look at both the sides, no other vehicle is coming, and then only they will proceed. It is a basic human discipline. Now, we Indians, over 1,000 years of, whatever we can call it, blame the foreign rule and all that, we have become a totally indisciplined lot. We neither want to take care of ourselves, nor we are bothered about the society. Nothing. So then there is no question of, discussing all these things, what we should do and all that. So ultimately, that's why I say, whatever we have to do, now whether other people are following or not, when you drive, you follow the traffic rule. And somebody will say, if you follow the traffic rule, you will never be able to go anywhere in India. That is their viewpoint. But still, for me, traffic rule, stopping in a red light is something I value because it is going to save me from some unforeseen accident. Also, save other people rather. Because accidents can take place in a split second. You cannot predict what will happen. So there is a system which is there. Let us follow the system. That's all. Then there's no question of argument whether it is foolish to stop in a traffic light early morning at 3 o'clock when there is no traffic at all. All these questions, people, they use their free will for all wrong reasons. That is what happens. Anyhow, I mean, this is a topic. So I always focus. I focus on what I am supposed to do, what I have to do, what I do. And then there are people who I come across, I will also tell them, if asked, what is it that they should do, which is the correct way of doing it. Whether they do it, they don't do it, is their lookout. One thing is there. Every action, Newton's law, has got a reaction. Whatever one does, every karma that we do, every action we do is a seed which we are sowing. The seed will sprout. That is the order of Ishvara. That is the cosmic order. The seed will sprout. Depending upon the quality of the seed, whether it will become a fruit or whether it will become a thorn, depends upon the quality of the seed. And then we ask, why am I suffering? I am doing all these things. I go to temple every day. I do puja. Why am I suffering? Why God is given me all these kind of this thing? That's because, my dear, you have sowed the wrong seeds in the previous life or even earlier in your life. Today you are doing all this puja and all that. What have you been doing all along in your 60 years, 50 years, 70 years? What have you been doing? You will get the result for all that. Nothing, no karma goes waste. If you don't finish it in this janma, one more janma will give, the nature will, the cosmic order will give you one more janma. Exhaust it now. So this will go on. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam will go on and on. So we have to understand all these things and then try to do some course correction. Even if we have led a wrong life till now, let us at least do some course correction. It may not give any fruits now. Doesn't matter. What I am doing today will, in my next birth or the following birth and all, it may give me good results, rather. May give me the fruits of that. That attitude with which we must move along.
Maybe that is the explanation for population growth in the whole world.
Yeah.
More janmas being created.
More janmas are being created. In fact, what is happening is, in fact, one person asked me this, that why population of human birth is going if there is only rebirth? That means only same amount of people should be born, isn't it? I told him the rebirth is not only for human beings, for every living being, there is a rebirth. So what is happening is these other living beings, let's say a mosquito, a plant, an animal, a tiger, a cat, and all that, they got this birth because of so many papas that they might have done in the past, past janmas rather. So they got a lower birth, that is a lowly creature they became rather. Then what happens? In that birth, they have exhausted that papas. Now suddenly the account shows punya. So they become humans.
They get promoted.
Human birth. So like that, what is happening is all these animals are becoming humans. And that is why many humans, when you look at them, they have got a lot of animal qualities. I'm not joking. If you observe it, there are many people, and in fact, especially, I'm not saying it in a negative way. When you see that some people have got some special affection or attachment to certain animals. Some people love dogs, some people love cats and things like that and all. Some people even love rats. When they've got this kind of attachment, it is all samskaras coming from the previous births. Because they might have at some point in time been that animal. And today, when they get a human birth, they have a sympathy and, identify their thinking with that kind of animal. So when we look at the whole process of creation in a holistic manner, we understand all these secrets. And that's why human birth is increasing. And because all the animals and mosquitoes, everything which have finished their papas, they are all becoming humans now in this birth. And they are creating more papas so that next month they will again become animals. Anyway, it's an interesting cycle. Can keep on discussing.
My second doubt is
Yes, Hariji.
about Ishta Kama Dukh.
Ishta Kama Dukh.
Yeah, this word. Which is the milk cow of desired object.
Yeah, Ishta means what is your desired object. Kama Dukh means Kamam Kaman Dohati iti Kama Dukh means the one which gives the milk of the desired objects. Means what? Which fulfills all your desires. So, that is another name for Kamadhenu.
The question
is Da Dhatu. It is here Dukh is Dukh Dhatu. That's all.
No, here my question is, on one side, we are being taught that we must have as less desires as possible, because the main reason of our dukkha is our desire. That a desire is acting as a barrier between between me and my evolution. So why do we say that here, that you have a Kamadhenu which is ready to fulfill your desires?
See, we have to see in what context all these things are said. In what context it is said that desires reduce your desires? What context?
Selfish desires.
No, selfish desires, what context? See, when you want to pursue Jnana Yoga, when you want to pursue self-knowledge, that stage it is saying that you must develop Vairagya, you must develop Viveka and all that. And reduce all your adharmic desires. Dharmic desires, no problem. Non-binding desires, no problem. Binding desires, you reduce. That is what is said in the context of Jnana Yoga. Here we are talking about Karma Yoga. In Karma Yoga, a person is assumed that he is a karta. He is a doer. And as a doer, he has got desires. And those desires, if they are not done, or those actions to fulfill those desires, if they are not done with the attitude of Karma Yoga, it becomes a bondage. So desire itself in Karma Yoga is not a negative thing. You can
Okay.
have desires, you can do actions for fulfilling those desires.
Yeah.
What Krishna is saying that if you do the actions with the Karma Yoga attitude,
Yeah.
those very desires, whatever you desire, you will get. Materialistic desire, non-materialistic desire. You have a desire for a guru, that guru you will get. All that, that is what Krishna says, that it will be a kama duk, like it will fulfill all your desires.
Okay.
So he is not saying don't have desire, but this is the Karma Yoga stage.
Okay.
So that is what you have to understand, the context in which it is said.
Okay.
Yeah.
My third doubt
He
is,
says don't have.
yeah, I understood. I get your point very clearly.
Yeah.
Very. My third doubt today is, see, it is important Srishti, Sthiti, and Samhara, the Trinity, is very important for the for the existence or survival of the society. According to our Sanatana Dharma, Brahma is the force which is creating. It's the creator.
Correct.
Why is it compared to Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva? Compared to Vishnu and Shiva, why the importance of Brahma creation? It is a little bit undervalued. Now, even if you know this, actually among our close friends, we have been discussing about this subject. Then we were not able to come with a clear idea.
I normally don't go into these kind of discussions, but what I can tell you is,
yeah,
according
please.
to our scriptures,
Yeah.
we say that Brahman and Maya are the creators of this universe, right?
Okay.
That is what we say. Brahman, not Brahmaji, Brahman and Maya, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Combined, they created this entire universe.
Yeah.
Now, the scriptures say the first one to be created was Brahmaji, who actually came from the Nabhi of Vishnu.
Yeah.
Right? In the lotus photo and all you have seen.
Yeah.
So Brahmaji was the first to be created.
Okay.
And these Vedas were given to Brahmaji.
Yeah.
To be passed on to the human beings.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you read the Bhashyam of Adi Shankara, Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam itself, got Upodghata Bhashyam, which is the introductory Bhashyam to Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam. There he explains that Brahmaji called two groups of human beings.
Yeah.
For one, he gave the Karmakanda portion to propagate it. Another, he gave the Jnanakanda portion to propagate. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of details Adi Shankara talks about all those things.
Okay.
So, when this Brahmaji was created first, he was given the task of further creation. So that the task of creation was outsourced to Brahmaji.
Okay.
That is how we call Brahmaji as a creator.
Okay.
Even though Brahmaji has created this universe on behalf of the original creators, which is what? Brahman and Maya, which is Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam. Cause for the creation is Brahman and Maya. Brahman is the Nimitta Karanam, efficient cause, and Maya is the material cause. Because without material and efficiency, nothing can be created. In even creating a chair or a table, wood is the material cause and the carpenter is the efficient cause. Similarly, here Brahman is the efficient cause and Maya is the material cause. Without the combination of the two, there can be no universe. So what is the scripture say that, okay, this whole process of creation was outsourced to Brahmaji, and then he becomes creator. That is how the creator, Brahmaji, got this creator tag. And mind you, Brahmaji is a position. Brahmaji is not a, so one individual kind of a thing. This Brahmaji, which is there now, will be there for this kalpa. Once the kalpa changes, there will be a new Brahmaji. Brahmaji is nobody than one exalted person like you and me. You can also become Brahmaji. I can also become Brahmaji, provided I know what is the formula, what are the qualifications that I will have to get, and I pursue that. I want to become Brahma. It may not be easy, but theoretically it is possible for, because Brahmaji is nothing. He is changing all these devatas. Whether it is Agni Devata, Varuna Devata, Shivan, Vishnu, all these Saguna Brahman whom we call the Devatas with form and name, all are only positions like Prime Minister, Education Minister, Defense Minister, etc. The position will not change, but the person occupying the position will change from Kalpa to Kalpa. That is how the whole system of the creation is designed. So that is how Brahmaji is the creator. We take. We are all Brahmajis. We create our children, isn't it? So is there your questions over? Anything
Yeah.
more?
Why
Huh?
with the temple wise and all, Brahma has got very Vishnu and Shiva, there are more temples, and in Brahma there are very limited temples in India. Any reason specific?
You see, there was a Shaivite movement, there was a Vaishnavite movement, right? There was no Brahmite movement, I think. So if there had been a Brahmite movement, there would have been a lot of Brahma temples also.
Okay.
So all these temples for Shiva and Vishnu and all have come after, because of these reasons that they want to propagate their own movements. So they have built so many temples and all that.
Okay.
That is the best answer I can give.
Okay. I know. Yeah, you have given an indication.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anjali ji, what's your question?
Yeah, namaste Guruji.
Namaste.
Guruji, coming to the question of ladies getting Upanayana ceremony, why not that? Answering that question, you told that during the marriage it's done and the 50% of the husband's share of punyas they will get. This is so with the married woman, but what about the unmarried woman who has learned?
They lost the opportunity.
Who has learned scriptures, and also I wanted to know what was the case with Maitreyi and Gargi.
Maitreyi and Gargi, they were married,
They married. Okay, they were the wives of the
wives of Yajnavalkya.
Okay. So
see,
no question about
question of unmarried women and things like that and all, they are only today. In the Vedic life, there is no question of any unmarried. The girl is 8-9 years old, marriage is performed. That is the age at which the Upanayanam also is performed for the boy. So the marriage itself is something which just takes place. It is not given a special importance like today. They have a Sangeet program and they have a reception and all those things were not there. Simple, dharmic, Vedic, function. Relatives, friends will gather, bless both couples. They will not even know what the marriage is. Then what happens? The boy goes to the Gurukulam and learns everything about Grihastha-ashrama. There are Grihya Suktas are there. How one should lead life in a Grihastha-ashrama. He learns all that, comes back. And the wife also in the meantime is getting trained at her home. She's not even moved to the boy's home till then. The girl gets trained at home for taking care of the family. The mother teaches all those things. So they even before they realize people are married. And then once they come together, then they will know what are the things that I have to do. And it's the same thing that the parents did. The parents have taught, they passed on the culture to the children. So there was no conflict. There is no question of any unmarried girl and all that.
No, but today's era, how we look at that then?
Today's situation, see, today we cannot comment at all. There's no comparison. Today we must forget all those issues and we must focus on, as I say, what I have to do. Forget all these things. I just explained all that, how the Vedic system was designed, how it ensured that there was a role for the Patni also in everything that was done. And that it was not a case that, the women were put in one corner and all that. You just look after only the kitchen and things like that and all. They're all misconceptions which have been circulated by a lot of people, ill-meaning people. So if we understand what our original culture was, we will at least, if we're not able to follow, we'll take pride in our culture. That's the whole purpose. And we must know what is the truth. If somebody comes and tells me all these things, I will give him the answer, proper answer. What are you talking about? If somebody who belongs to Christianity, of course, I'm not criticizing Christianity. It's a wonderful religion. They have brought certain, right living concepts with their Bible and tenets and things like that and all that. Fine. But they cannot claim originality that we were the only one who did it. If somebody says, I will say, I'm sorry, your 10 commandments is nothing but yama id niyama. And also, satyam vada, dharmam chara, all those things are all our Vedic statements. From there only you have lifted everything and put it in your Hebrew language and say, this is our other culture. And I have heard certain stories or certain things, I don't know how far they are true. Christianity was not born with Christ. It was only 300 years after Christ that this religion, Christianity, was brought up for political reasons. And they found this very convenient to attribute everything to Christ, so that there must have been a person like Christ who existed, who was from our point of view, a Mahatma. So
like Bauddha Dharma also, no? Bauddha Dharma also, Buddha has not created any
Buddha also, right? See, Buddha only what he did was, he took from the Vedas what is practical for a common man at the lower levels. The person who are totally no exposure to any language, they have no studies, no reading, nothing, They're not gone. So how they will follow the Vedic thing? So Buddha, took all these Vedic tenets and then converted them into his own middle path or whatever it is. Rather, he is also very good. I mean, it is something. See, all the people who are making people realize God, develop a relationship with God, all are actually serving the humanity only. Ultimately, we are not saying that we are the only one who are caretakers of the humanity. Everybody else is not like that. That is wrong. Just because a few Islamists are doing wrong thing doesn't mean that Islam is wrong. Islam has got lot of good things, lot of right teachings are there. But they appeal to a certain level of intellect. And because of that certain level of intellect, they don't allow people to question what is being taught. Whereas ours is an open system where you can question anything, get the answer. If you are convinced, okay. Not convinced, also okay. That is what ours is. So that is, you have to understand all these things. Yeah. Any more questions? Anything else? Otherwise, shall I close the session?
Hari Om.
Good. Thank you all very much.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Next to
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Tomorrow, Vivek Chudamani class, those who are there, we'll meet them tomorrow.
Yes, Guruji.
Hari Om.